booktube. I'm here today with another review for the Hilary Weston Writers' Trust Prize for Nonfiction 2020. I will get that memorized without looking down at the sticker just to remember the order that's set in. Yeah, this is Reaching Mithymna by Stephen Hayton, subtitled Among the Volunteers and Refugees on Lesbos. So this book is a memoir, and I want to state that firmly that this is a memoir. This is not a piece of journalism, at least not a piece of detached journalism. It's about a writer who kind of impulsively decides that he's going to go to Greece to volunteer during the refugees crisis that happened there in 2015. So if you don't know, in 2015, refugees from the multiple wars going on in the Middle East flooded into Greece, and after making that very dangerous crossing across the ocean, in this case between Turkey and Greece, a slew of volunteer and international aid organizations set up camp, quite literally, to help the refugees. This is a witness to human tragedy. It's a personal story about a side of the story that we don't often see, and I want to stress that he is a witness. Not to say that he's not helping physically, that he's not doing things. This story is a slice of a larger story, and Hayton is only telling what he's seeing firsthand as a witness. It's a snippet of time on the island of Lesbos among the volunteers and the issues that they face. And this isn't like the nice side of volunteering either. You know, he's not sitting behind a desk making calls or going door to door asking for donations. He's wading into water and pulling bodies out of the ocean. He's trying to control an overwhelmed crowd of thousands who just spent hours, you know, in a dinghy that's slowly filling up with water, and now told that they can't use the bathroom. No, they can't get something to eat. They can't put on warmer clothes. They have to line up and be processed, and he doesn't speak their language, and no one there is speaking the language, and he's trying to, you know, connect with these people in order to tell them that we are going to get you. You know, I can't do anything because I don't have the power, but we're going to try and get you processed. Just, you know, please form a line, and, you know, trying to sympathize with people when you're not able to do anything. That scene was just eye-opening. What I appreciate is that this isn't a story of the refugees. He isn't some person coming in and trying to appropriate and tell their stories. This is his story. This is a story of him working with the volunteers and trying to mobilize and navigate with all these different organizations that are there to help. You know, we see Antifa and we see NGOs and these pop-up organizations that just want to help, and the tensions between some of them, mostly from like the official NGOs. Yeah, not to say that he doesn't highlight some of the issues that the refugees face, especially in regards to being part of human trafficking or being forced to wait in line for hours on end, or, you know, not having substantial food, or, you know, not getting to go to the bathroom, or having to wear clothing that's foreign to you. You know, it's a well-rounded slice of story discussing the effects that the crisis had on refugees, on volunteers, and on the locals of Lesbos. And this is a personal story. This is not one about statistics or news or kind of detached journalism. You know, we get to know the volunteers, and even in the short moments he gets to spend with the refugees, Hayton is able to make them feel really realized on the page. You know, he's obviously a very close observer of human behavior, and he does that, and he portrays that very well through his writing. He even applies his critical lens to himself, as he asks, what is he even here doing? Like, why is he trying to help out? He has no experience. He has no knowledge of the refugee process. Like, what is he doing? And he has a lot of self-doubt, and I really appreciate that. Honestly, when I first started reading this book, I didn't think we'd get that, because it seems like he's very unaware of his privilege when it first starts, but eventually, as the story starts becoming more intense, and it does, you know, he starts to realize his own privilege. A few criticisms are that he sometimes uses really big words where it's not really necessary. And it's not a book for people unfamiliar with the refugee crisis or the war in the Middle East, as it doesn't explain that. It's just like drops you in, and, you know, this is a few months at the end of 2015 when this is happening. So you have to have some kind of knowledge of why people are, you know, suddenly flooding into Greece in particular here. And I want to read a quote here again. Yeah, it's from the last page, but there's no spoilers. Everyone gets away with certain things for a while, but no one gets away with everything forever. This stretch of coast from carousel to sunset exudes a sense that the game is up, the party over, illusions played out. Then again, if our illusions are harmful, isn't disillusionment a good thing? A necessary correction so painful that our word for it is negative? Nobody ever changes until they have to. Yeah, I highly suggest, if you are interested in reading this aspect of the refugee crisis about the volunteers, definitely pick up Reaching Mithymna by Stephen Hayden. It is really eye-opening read.